My next stop in international paddle is Rome, one of the most iconic sporting cities in the world and now home to one of the biggest events in the paddle calendar, the Premier Padel Major at the incredible Foro Italico. This place is amazing. Paddle statues, Roman architecture, electric crowds. It's a venue made for legends, and this week it's all about paddle. But it's not just about the matches. Rome means espresso in the morning, pizza at lunch, and maybe a little gelato between sets, all while soaking up the magic of this city. I'll be commentating with Red Bull TV, taking you behind the scenes into the action, and of course, showing you a side to Rome you might not expect. Let's go, this is going to be special. There are iconic venues in the world of sport, and then there's the Foro Italico, built in the 1930s, surrounded by Roman statues and echoing the history of tennis and Olympic glory. Now, the roar of paddle fans. This is Premier Padel in Rome. The temperature this week is a huge factor, not only in how you play, but also in the court surface, the speed of the game. Here you can see they've put some tarpaulin down at the back of the court in order to not let the sun burn that grass and therefore damage the playing surface. But not only on the outdoor courts is it a factor, but also even though the stadium has got really steep sides, you're going to find that this weather is going to make the courts faster. It's going to make it more physically difficult for the players. I mean, in the middle of the day, it's about 35 degrees, and that's why there's that gap. So they do morning matches and then afternoon matches starting from about 3:30, 4 p.m. onwards. But it's going to be a very hot, difficult conditions for the players to be playing in. One of my favourite things about this Rome Premier is these outdoor courts here with the statues all around the outside where people can sit and watch these two courts back to back, and it feels a really kind of intimate stadium, like you're quite close to the action. Everyone can just kind of sit down but also stand up at the back, and you get amazing crowds here. You're going to see this later on today as the matches get more and more exciting. Padel in Italy isn't just growing, it's booming. 5 years ago there were around 1,500 courts. Today over 8,000. Italy now is one of the fastest growing paddle nations in the world, and you'll see this right the way up from kids all the way up to competitive international players. Clubs all around Italy are full. The courts are full daily, and events like this show you why. It's more than just a sport, it's a movement over here. One of the things I like most about the Rome Premier versus other premiers is they've got these outdoor courts and the players use it for warm-up, and it's right next to the stadium, it's right next to the match courts. And all week, the Italian team of, juniors, right the way from like 9 or 10-year-olds all the way up to the adult teams, are using this as a training camp basically this week. And so you're seeing there must be 60 or 70 juniors out here training with their coaches. Must have come from all parts of Italy to really use this as a centre point, and what an inspiration for them as young players to be able to watch the Premier and to do their training. And there's an amazing level of paddle, like of all the countries that aren't far off Spain and Argentina, Italy is one of those that will be in the running in the years to come. And as the saying goes, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Here you eat like a gladiator with a morning espresso so strong it wakes up your paddle game, carbonaras and pizzas with centuries of pride, and of course, the gelato for a tactical recovery choice. That's my excuse anyway. Lovely conditions here in the morning on centre court before the quarterfinals get underway today. The crowd has obviously not been let in yet. Really steep sides on this centre court, which means that when you're playing and it is a full crowd, it feels a little bit like the Colosseum. It's a really compact atmosphere, and the players absolutely love playing here. So let's see some awesome paddle. One of my favourite things about working with Bull Paddle, and they're pretty much the only brand that do this, is they make limited edition rackets for a lot of the tournaments. And this is the Rome one, the nice Colosseum on here, looks pretty fancy, plays like the normal racket, but just when I head down the club, I look a little bit cooler. So I'm here with El Gran Gonza.
El Gran. Hello.
Ubiña. You've been interviewing a lot of players this week. We're courtside, so we've been a little bit quiet. You've been interviewing a lot of players this week.
Yeah.
Why do they enjoy the Rome Major so much? Everyone says they love it. Why is it one of their favourite tournaments?
Yeah, we all love it. I mean, I think it's a combination between being a major with 2,000 ranking points for the winner, double from a P1, only giving 1,000, and then the place. I mean, walking around here, it's incredible. You have the statues looking like you, Sandy. You have the courts in the Pietrangeli, the atmosphere, the energy. And then you go and you eat a pizza or a pasta.
Yeah. There's definitely something about having those statues there, isn't it? Like you walk in, you're surrounded by statues, you feel like you're a part of history.
Exactly. You feel like you're in the, 1 century ago. It's insane.
Magical.
Magical.
If we play like this, we're going to have more opportunities. Very happy with the performance so far from Bergamini Navarro. Tapia?
Wow, what a get.
No way, but he touched the net.
Touch the post.
I'm going to see it here. Yeah, clearly.
Just on the top of the post. Yeah, with the racket.
The other angle was a bit better.
So fast to get into that position though, isn't he? And I agree, I think Paquito and Bergamini are playing well at the moment. They started slow in that first game, but now they're definitely getting into it, and 30 love up on their opponent's serve.
A big chance. Three volleys from Coelho and the chancletazo from Tapia. The flip-flop shot.
The flip-flop shot. A bullet on that forehand volley. I love the way they just flatten the racket and then give that volley a slap.
Just wrapping up the quarterfinals day, finishing here at about 1 a.m. with Tapia and Coelho. Some great matches. It's been an absolute battle. Considering it's a fast surface, fast conditions, it's hot, the matches have been all long games today. And that just shows the quality of paddle on display, both attacking and defence. Great to finish with these guys. More for tomorrow. Looking forward to some exciting semis. Gonza, we have just done the first semi-final, the LeBron Stupa Chingalan. What did you think of that? What was the major takeaway? What are you going to add into your game?
From those four?
Yeah.
I wish someday or one day to have Galan Smash. That's my dream. Okay, we have to cut. We have to go in there, Sandy.
Right. Cut. Save for later.
Paula Jose Maria and Ari Sanchez, not only the number ones in paddle, but the number one in the commentary box. Sandy. Hola, ciao.
Hola, Gonza. Absolute pleasure to be here. This is going to be a fantastic semi-final. We were just discussing that in the pre-show of how close this is going to be. You and I have both gone for a very balanced result.
And here they are. Champions in Asunción a couple weeks ago. Bea González and Claudia Fernandez. Young team, but pure talent.
Look at them enjoying the occasion, lots of smiles, and that hopefully is a sign that they're going to be relaxed going into this. Because if they are relaxed and playing their game, they stand a chance of taking down the number ones.
They can beat anyone, and they did it already. In Asunción, Bea González and Claudia Fernandez waiting for their opponents. And speaking of them, the Queens, the number ones in paddle, champions here a year ago. Champions in Buenos Aires, Paula Jose Maria and Ariana Sanchez.
A pair of players that are very used to the big stage, aren't they? So many titles under their name. walking out here in the semis of a major, they will definitely be used to these conditions and playing against tough opponents.
The number ones and the number threes face to face in the semi-finals of this Italy major. The number twos already waiting in the finals, Gemma Triay and Delphi Brea after beating Marina Guinard and Victoria Iglesias. Who will join Delphi and Gemma to go for the crown here in Italy, in Rome? The official picture. And the coin toss.
Just coming to the end of the semi-finals day. No major upsets, but some pretty close fought competition. It's funny, when the game is faster like this, it actually brings out a lot more mistakes in the pros, and you find yourself, and me as the commentator, find myself saying, well, actually you see a lot of this at recreational level where players might be slightly impatient or they go for a bit too much, and on the faster surface they just lose slight control of the ball. I've seen more return errors this week or in this competition than I have, you know, for a long time, and definitely not in Buenos Aires, and that has a lot to do with the speed of the court and the control on that ball. Finals tomorrow. The players are playing better and better though as the week is going on. I'm sure we're going to see a fantastic final. Can't wait.
As a player watching Rome Major this week, one thing I've really been struck by is the number of mistakes that the top players make and still win their matches. What you found the whole way through the tournament, from first round right away to the final, is that there's always been a player that has not played at their best, yet as a pair they have still managed to go through. And for me, I think that's one sign that the top players, something that they can do that the lower level or the lower ranked players can't do as well. And it's exactly the same at a recreational level. On your bad days, you want to make enough balls and be consistent enough that you can beat your opponents. And they weren't doing anything special. Cingotto and Galan, Cingotto in the semi-finals making lots of mistakes, but they made enough balls in the court to get through to the final. Gemma and Delphi in the final, Delphi made a lot of mistakes, but they made enough balls to compete and to allow themselves to win. And so as a player this week, if you've been watching any of the matches, it's definitely something you should take on board, that even on your bad days, if you just make enough balls, you can still get through matches that you might think you otherwise can't.
What an incredible final that was from Galan there. I mean, Galan was just on fire. He was a true gladiator of Rome, and Cingotto did the job of helping him and making sure that he could actually deliver that. Tapia and Cuello, not on their best form, but also, you know, competed well and made the challenge. But really, Galan, Cingotto, fair play to them to be champions, to retain their title in Rome. And I think this tournament, if anything, has shown that you don't always need both players playing on the tip top in order to go through. One of them usually has to play well and the other has to play like a gladiator and grit their way through and be determined. But what a performance, and what an end to an amazing Premier Major here in Rome. Now, if you don't want to miss a moment of our broadcast, or probably more importantly, the matches, you can go to Red Bull TV. You've got the highlights, you've got the live games, you're going to see the world's best players. You can watch it on your iPad, on your laptop. You can see all of Premier Padel on Red Bull TV.